Let's talk about a huge, timeless question. What does it actually mean to be powerful? We're going to explore how to build an empire today. But, it's probably not the kind you're thinking of. This is all about your inner empire, the idea that true, lasting power comes from self-mastery. So seriously, what makes a person powerful? If I asked you that right now, what would pop into your head? For most people, it's probably going to be stuff like having a ton of money, being in charge of an army, or having a famous reputation, right? But is that really all there is to it? Well, this is where we need to split the idea of power in two. On one hand, you've got the outer empire. That's all the external stuff we just mentioned, the money, the status, the influence over other people. But then there's the inner empire, and this one is built on something completely different: self-control, good judgment, and real, genuine freedom. And to really see this clash of empires in action, there's this incredible story, a legendary confrontation that just perfectly captures the difference between these two types of power. Okay, so picture the scene. It's from a novel by Stephen Pressfield. You have Alexander the Great, literally the most powerful man on the planet, and his entire army has ground to a halt. And what's stopping him? Not another army, not a fortress, just one single philosopher who's in his way and refuses to move. You can just feel the tension, right? One of Alexander's men, totally confused and angry, just shouts at the philosopher. The logic seems simple enough. Hey, this guy in front of you is basically a god on earth. He's conquered everything. What have you ever done? And this is the moment where everything just flips upside down. The philosopher's answer is so simple, but it's absolutely devastating. He just says, "I have conquered the need to conquer the world." Wow. Just let that sit for a second. In one sentence, he completely changes the definition of what power even is. Now, here's the cool part. While that version is from a novel, it's actually based on a real, maybe even more famous historical showdown. It was between Alexander and a philosopher named Diogenes the Cynic. Diogenes was known for rejecting everything society cared about: money, comfort, what people thought of him. And because he didn't want anything, he was completely in control of himself. He had fewer desires, which meant he had more power over his own life than the guy who ruled the world but was always driven by that need for more. So that story gives us a really powerful image. But where does that kind of strength actually come from? Let's dig in and unpack the philosophical source code behind this kind of unshakable power. Let's just ask the question directly then. In that confrontation, who really had the power? Was it Alexander, the man with legions of soldiers who needed the whole world to tell him he was great? Or was it Diogenes, the man who needed nothing from anyone and, because of that, was totally and completely free? The answer, really, is right here in this quote from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. He's telling us, don't put your faith in all that external stuff, your reputation, your bank account, your job title. And why not? Because all of that can be taken from you in an instant. The only real strength, the only thing that is 100% yours, is your judgment, your ability to decide how you're going to see things and how you're going to react. That's what you control. And all of this boils down to a pretty clear definition of self-mastery. It's the power to be the ruler of your own inner world. It's about controlling your desires instead of letting them control you. It's about choosing how you interpret things. And it's about mastering your own reactions. That, right there, is the only path to real, lasting freedom. Okay, so this is a really powerful idea, but we don't want it to just be some abstract thing for ancient philosophers, right? So how do we actually use this? How do we start building and ruling our own inner empire, starting today? This quote from Publius Syrus is just the perfect call to action. And think about who's saying it: a former slave. This was a man who knew what it meant to have absolutely zero external power. And he's the one who understood that the greatest empire anyone can ever rule is the one inside their own head. So the whole game is shifting our focus from conquering the world outside to mastering the world within. And look, here's a simple 3-step framework to get started. First, you have to get brutally honest about what is outside your control. The traffic, the weather, what other people think about you. You can't command any of it, so stop wasting energy there.
Second, take all that focus and pour it only into what's within your control, which is your judgment, your interpretations, your choices. That's your home turf. And third, practice mastering your reactions and desires. Instead of just automatically getting angry or instantly wanting something, you pause and you choose how you respond.
So we'll end with this question, and it's not for me to answer, it's for you. True power isn't some big, far-off goal you achieve one day. It's built in the small daily moments of self-control and clear thinking. It's not about conquering the world, it's about conquering the need to. So think about it. What small part of your inner empire will you take command of today? Your patience when you're stuck in a long line? Your response to a frustrating email? That's where real power begins.